As I unfortunately predicted, we are seeing more layoffs in the industry, this time impacting the Virtuos team. Virtuos is the team behind games like Cyberpunk 2077, helping with updates. They worked on Metal Gear Solid Delta, and they also worked on the very successful Oblivion remake. Well, they're announcing that they are having about 300 layoffs. This story was originally broke by somebody over in France, and we're going to get into those translations in just a second. But already they have put out an official statement on their website called Adapting for the Future of Game Development from Virtuos. Virtuos is evolving to meet the challenging needs of our partners and the industry. As game development grows increasingly complex, we are realigning our global footprint and capabilities to strengthen our offering in high-value co-development, ranging from full game engineering to advanced art, including creative content production and live services. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, I do want to point out that no, Virtuos is not owned by Microsoft. They have worked with CDPR, they have worked with Konami, and they have worked on Microsoft's projects, but no, they are not owned by Microsoft. However, it is incredibly unfortunate to see layoffs at a company that has honestly worked on fantastic games. Delta's looking great. Cyberpunk has seen nothing but success since its updates, and the Oblivion remake is fantastic. So it's really unfortunate to hear that they're going to fire a bunch of people. This evolution involves a rebalancing of roles across our studios and geographies. Approximately 7% of Virtuos's global workforce was affected, primarily in teams facing lower occupancy and slower demand due to structural shifts in the industry. This includes about 200 roles in Asia and 70 roles in Europe, including fewer than 10 in France, where the core team working on Oblivion Remastered is located. Investing in specialized capabilities and enhancing client proximity. Over the past 12 months, Virtuos has deepened its commitment to premium co-development through key acquisitions of Beyond FX, Pipeworks, and Umanaya in North America, as well as Third Kind Games and Abstraction in Europe. These studios enhance our strengths in VFX design, Unreal Engine programming, and creative development. This ongoing investment reflects our intent to grow in areas where our expertise and scale create lasting value, while selectively exiting service segments where demand is weakening. Oof, this is just like a tough one to get through. It is a lot of business jargon and what do we call it in the biz? Bullshit. We're going to find out more about what they're really doing in the coming paragraphs, but I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents here. Obviously, this is a public-facing statement. This went through their lawyers. This went through everyone else. And at the end of the day, it means 300 people are out of a job at a company where, to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Everything you're working on is successful. You have clearly made some smart investments in your business, and companies are benefiting greatly from those investments. It's weird to me that you would suddenly let go of 300 people who helped you create that market value. We need to better match the locations of our teams with those of our clients to support the increasingly iterative nature of creative co-development. This alignment is why the current reorganization has a greater impact on our teams in Asia. Respect and support for affected employees. We are grateful for the contributions of those impacted. We are providing separation packages, career transition assistance, and opportunities for redeployment across our global network where possible. The company's immediate focus is managing this transition with care, transparency, and respect. Strengthening long-term partnerships. Virtuos remains fully committed to our partnerships, including ongoing work on announced titles such as Oblivion Remastered, Cyberpunk 2077, and Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. We will continue to invest in global delivery, technical excellence, and creative collaboration, ensuring that Virtuos remains the partner of choice for the world's leading game creators. We thank our teams, partners, and peers for their continued support as Virtuos adapts to lead the future of game development. I mean, honestly, trying to find the silver lining is kind of tough on this one, but I guess they're doing career transition assistance. I don't even know what to say anymore. My algorithm, because I have been talking about layoffs and covering layoffs so much, is just montages of people who have been fired just this year and what the market looks like right now. There's not work out there for a lot of people. A lot of people are trying to find like a new industry to break into, and they're having a very, very hard time. So as the year progresses, there is a very high likelihood that this is going to get worse and worse. I see people making posts like, hey, I've been out of work for 6 months, still haven't found anything. It's kind of getting scary. And I have a lot of concerns about what's going to happen in terms of just general safety of people who have been out of work. Like, I think there's going to be pretty drastic changes in the coming year, and not in a positive sense. So, if you have work, I would hold on to it if you can right now, given this scary situation. Now, there's more to this story. Believe it or not, the polished press release that came out didn't tell the full story. This was originally broke by this gentleman. He speaks French, but don't worry, I use good old Google Translate to translate his messages. The original message will be on the left, and we will read the Google translated version here. Let me just make it a little bit larger and see if I can just make this a little bit better formatted. News: mass layoffs are underway at Virtuos, the studio behind Oblivion Remastered and the upcoming Metal Gear Solid. 300 positions is what he's reporting before the official announcement. 7% of the workforce are at risk at this outsourcing specialist located in Asia, USA, and Europe, including 3 branches in France. According to several sources, these layoffs will initially target China, 200 people, but will affect many other departments, including the French studios responsible for the recent success, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered. The watchword, that's obviously a translation, mot d'ordre de l'annonce, fate. Yeah, that's a weird translation. The watchword of the announcement made to the teams a few weeks ago was competitiveness. Okay, so the term that they're using, it's like competition or competitiveness. Founded in Shanghai in 2004 by former Ubisoft executive, of course it was, Gilles Langoriot. Virtuos, I'm not even going to try anymore, everybody. Just like, I saw your comments about my pronunciations. It's just, we'll call it my charm, is a private company specializing in co-development, porting, and game development services for, we know who Virtuos is. This is their portfolio he linked out to. They've worked on some good stuff, right? Maybe not Avengers is their best example, but projects like Metal Gear Delta and Oblivion represent Virtuos' new strategic horizon as it seeks to reposition itself on a larger project size licenses like Bluepoint ? And distance itself from the much more competitive market for light restorations. Virtuos is said to have made significant efforts on Oblivion with a policy of overspending on quality and a royalty-free contract without bonuses tied to the game's success. Oh man, so what this journalist is reporting is basically they put in all of this work, they deliver the work, and the way they structured their contract, they don't get any benefits if the game is successful. So Cyberpunk, Delta, the Oblivion Remaster, they did great work on those things, but they don't really get anything. The result, teams put under severe strain for a purely showcase game whose profitability is doomed to be questioned. Oh man, that is rough. In February, at the end of Oblivion's development, the company announced a freeze on raises and a reduction in bonuses at the group level. Management was then questioned about the risk of layoffs following these measures, but sought to be reassuring. Oh my God, that's brutal. It is in this context that a strike is currently taking place at Virtuos Lyon to protest these layoffs, protect the future capacity of this branch, which is already grappling with the centralization slash merger of French studio management. This is way more than I thought it would be. Like, I didn't read this ahead of time. I just did the translation and started recording the story. Several witnesses also confirmed to me that Virtuos is also approaching the issue of generative AI. I told you. Somebody made a comment to me and they said, Destin, someday AI is going to take your job. I know. I'm well aware of that being a very real possibility in the near future. So get the real Destin while the getting's good, internet, and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know my content goes live, because someday all this amazingness could go away. It just could be AI. AI Destin is 30 pounds lighter. He doesn't mess up pronunciation, but that might come someday. So in the meantime, let's get while the getting's good. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, geez. AI, it's coming, whether we want it to or not. Like I've said many times, generative AI at its own pace and cautiously. In 1 year, we've gone from a few group level presentations to basic but mandatory training for employees. Wow. So generative AI, like, this is one example of a business that is just like, yeah, we're going to train you how to use AI. And by the way, we're firing 300 people. Once fatigue and anger are mentioned, most of my conversations with witnesses to the situation end in the same place. In the midst of a strategic shift, Virtuos is apparently losing the trust of some of its employees. I mean, like, no kidding, right? Sorry, colleagues, no dedicated show or article. It's the off season at Origami. You'll have to make do with this thread and the official announcements that will eventually arrive. He wraps it up with one more. To properly round out the thread, the official Virtuos press release, which we read at the top of the video, confirming the layoff of 7% of its workforce and emphasizing the small number of jobs affected in France, less than 10, a way to mitigate the links made with Oblivion. Oh, man. That is brutal. Like, hearing his thread, so that's the second story about AI deleting jobs. People, AI is going to take jobs, and this isn't just a gaming thing. This is going to impact all industries. Even food, they're making robots that just make you the food. There's fewer in-person interfaces. And I saw some people talking about universal basic income in the comments and just how the whole landscape is shifting. Chris Dring just had a great interview with the former Square Enix high-level person. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he talked about how, long story short, the whole market has sort of shifted to a bit of a different model, and the gaming world is just much different than it was even 5 years ago. Things are happening so fast and changing so fast that it's really hard to keep up with. Go watch Drink's thing. I might make a video about some of the statements he made, but yeah. Studio behind Oblivion Remastered, one of 2025's biggest hits, subject to mass layoffs. This is from Eurogamer. And they said, in a statement, a virtual spokesperson said that these layoffs affected around 7% of staff, primarily in teams facing lower occupancy and slower demand due to structural shifts in the industry. Fewer than 10 were in France, where the core team working on Oblivion Remastered is located. We are grateful for the contributions of those impacted. We are providing separate. I already read that. We will continue to invest in global delivery, technical excellence. That's from the official press release. We thank our teams, partners, etc. Originally, they linked out to the original source of Gautier Andres, and the layoffs will allegedly be across the United States, Asia, and Europe, and that has since been confirmed. And yeah, they put a freeze on raises and reduction of bonuses back in February. That's usually step one, and then, then the layoffs start happening. What a crazy story. Tonight I was like, what am I going to talk about tonight? I'm not really sure. And then I caught this over on X and started diving into it. And unfortunately, I think that this is going to continue. Not that long ago, there were the Microsoft layoffs. There were layoffs at another company that wasn't Microsoft. Now there's a layoff at Virtuos. Just the rest of 2025 is going to be hard for a lot of people. And just there's more coming. I would just be mentally prepared for more layoff stories. Like 300 is a significant number. Microsoft's laying off, I think it was 9,000 in the last round, but it's like thousands. And just overall, the year 2025 has been quite shocking. The thing that really stinks about this story, though, is Virtuos did almost everything right. The one mistake they did was not tying any sort of bonus structure to a game being successful, meaning they're kind of left high and dry. They did the work, they got paid for the work's done, and that's it. They're going to continue supporting the big games, of course, but hopefully they work on renegotiating the contracts, because I think that's what they actually need. Let me know what you think about this story. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to the members for supporting. Man, not AI destined yet, so I really appreciate everybody who supports. Chris Ferretti, Phil Aroni, Spingater, and Aries EMS. If you want to support, best place is probably patreon.com/SafeStatePlus. You can support right here on YouTube by becoming a member, though. I should probably rework the membership goals again, because I'm doing my best with it all, but I think I just need to be a little bit more realistic about what I am able to accomplish. Just like Microsoft should probably be a little bit more realistic about what they're going to ship in the next several months. I don't know why I made that comment. This has nothing to do with Microsoft. I'm tired, y'all. Usually I have a better outro segue. Go watch one of my other videos, please. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.